All right, so the debates around slavery went from the floors of Congress to the halls of the Supreme Court with the case of Dred Scott. What happens is Dred Scott was an enslaved person from Missouri, but he spent most of his life in free territory. He was the person who owned him was a army surgeon, and so he was stationed at a fort in the free territory of Minnesota. And so when Dred Scott's owner dies, Dred Scott sues for his freedom, and it will make its way through the Supreme Court. Sorry, it'll make its way through the court system, and then when it gets to the Supreme Court, Taney issues his decision. And he says, first, when the founding fathers wrote the Constitution, they did not conceive of enslaved peoples as people. So they aren't citizens of the United States because they were considered property. So already Scott's case is not looking very good. And then he said that property, if you purchase property in Georgia, if you purchase a horse and buggy in Georgia and you take your horse and buggy to Massachusetts, it's still your horse and buggy. That property, the ownership of property exists throughout the states. And that ultimately Congress really has no means of determining if territory is free or territory is not free. Which, if the Kansas-Nebraska Act hadn't been invalidated, the Missouri Compromise, Taney just invalidated the Missouri Compromise. But the most egregious thing that Taney writes in his majority opinion is that a black man has no rights which a white man is bound to respect. And it's that part that even makes some Northerners think, well, wait a minute. Not many, but more than had been thinking about it before. Kind of start to think about slavery in different ways when Taney says a black man has no rights, which a white man is bound to respect. Just kind of a fun fact about the Dred Scott case. When a president is sworn into office, it's the Chief Justice who swears the president in. And so when Abraham Lincoln was sworn into office, Taney, the person who issued the majority opinion in this Dred Scott case, he swore Abraham Lincoln in. And Abraham Lincoln followed the precedent of other presidents and used a Bible. And so when he put his hand on his Bible and swore the oath of office there with Taney, he became president in 1860. When President Obama assumed the oath of office in 2008, he used Abraham Lincoln's Bible. So think about that for a moment. The person who had said a black man has no rights, which a white man is bound to respect, who had said that black men aren't citizens of the United States, in part because they're deemed property. In 2008, a black man put his hand on that Bible and became president of the United States. That's some pretty cool kind of like circular history there. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the discussion board. I hope you're doing well. Take care.